Kenny Smith is here on behalf of Coors Light's Full Court Refresh program. Kenny, always good to see you. I want to start our discussion by talking about KD and his move from Oklahoma City to Golden State. What's your take on that?
Well, honestly, I wasn't surprised, man. I had no inside information or anything like that. But when the Golden State lost in the finals, there was one statement he said, it's going to be a basketball decision. I'm like, this guy's going to go to Golden State. And everyone was like, how do you know? I was like, I don't know anything. I said, if he's saying a basketball decision, this is a possible opportunity to create some type of dynasty that we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, I don't know how you could find a better scenario that would be a better basketball fit. What's your take? I know we heard Charles Barkley comment on the whole super team notion and the idea that these superstars are now teaming up with one another. What's your take on that? Is that good for basketball or bad?
Well, when I grew up, there was only two teams that could win it, the Lakers and the Boston Celtics. So they were super teams in my era, man. So I don't see that as bad for basketball in my estimation. A lot of the former superstars, they really didn't have an opportunity to get tested to see what decision they would have made.
That's a good point.
This was available. So we can all speculate and say, oh, I would have never done that. But you never had the opportunity to do it either.
We're in this day and age now, Kenny, and you know this, where players' legacies swing one way or another based on whether or not they have jewelry. You win a ring and you look at a guy completely differently. Is that fair? That if Kevin doesn't go off and win a ring, that he's judged any differently as a player?
Well, I think you obviously, in all circles, winners get judged differently, So he will get judged differently if he wins a championship. But, because the finances doesn't change from team to team that drastically anymore, and guys have been able to do certain things to make up salaries, that's why you have the free agency movement. And you have guys moving all over the place, from Kevin Durant to, Dwayne Wade and so on and so forth.
Kenny, we had a discussion on yesterday's show about the modern-day superstars today and their decision to either speak out on social issues or stay on the sidelines. And then last night, Commissioner Adam Silver at the NBA Board of Governors news conference had this to say in regard to his view on stars speaking out. Listen.
I'm not one in the school to say they have an obligation to do it, but I think that those feel comfortable doing it and want to speak out, they have this incredible forum to do it, whether it's through, in a formal way, through media members that are in this room, or whether it's through social media. I think it demonstrates that these are multidimensional people. They live in this society, and they have strong views about how things should be. So I'm very encouraging of that. I think one of the great things about sports is it does bring people together. And without going too long on this, I think part of the fundamental issue is trust. And I think maybe using basketball, using this platform, we can get people having a very healthy dialogue on those issues.
Kenny, what's your take on the issue of players speaking out when they feel strongly about issues?
Well, yesterday I did what I call the State of the Union, just addressing NBA players. I don't think that they have an obligation, but I don't think that they have created the problem either. But I think that they have the antidote, because I think the one thing that we all realize is it's not just black people; it's poor people, and specific to black people. And because of the new economic, socioeconomic influx by the NBA, well, we make up 74% of the NBA. There's an opportunity to change social economic environments, which then allows, unfortunately, people to think lives matter. Because when you have a social economic influx, you matter. Your decisions matter and your movement matters. So I think that it's important that players have an opportunity to do that. And they have an obligation now because of the money that's influxed into the NBA. I think it's obligation to do it.
Well, I'm glad you took us there because, as you know, the big story this offseason in the NBA has been the money, just a ridiculous amount of cash flying around now with the elevated cap. And that gets us to the Facebook message that you referred to, this your State of the Union, if you will, of the NBA. For those that haven't heard it, I want to play a clip of it, and then we'll ask you about it on the backside. Listen.
I don't think that there was an accident. Some of the biggest contracts were signed this week, and I'm ecstatic for these players that are getting it. But there comes a responsibility and a social economic responsibility with that. And I'm sorry, it has to be you. But it is you. Because if you make up 74% of the NBA, of the $90 million per team that is available, that means you are the richest black men in the country in your group. Your group is the richest black men in the country as a group. So now you have social and economic power. You have to allocate, not donate, not give away 10% of your salary. You give 10% to your agent, all he does is do a phone call. 10% of your salary should be allocated for programming inside the communities you live or you can affect. That's it. How simple is that? You don't know what to do? We're going to form that committee to help you point you in a direction to where you should allocate it.
Kenny, what kind of reaction have you received from players about your plea?
Yeah, I think they all understand. A lot of guys, want to help. They just don't know how to. Because, during the day, you're a professional athlete, which means that's a time-consuming job. You wake up in the morning and you have things and obligations that are far beyond your regular citizen. So to be one of the top 300 of anything. So they just don't know how. And so that's one of the things that I want to help with the NBA. And I talked to Adam Silver as well, to create opportunities to show you how to do things. Because if we only make up 6% of the country, black men, but 30%, we know the number now, of jails. And it's such a disproportionate rate of police brutality, disproportionate rates. But we also make a disproportionate rate of the NBA, which makes so much money. So we can take an economic influx and change societies and give people opportunities, not handouts, opportunities of what they've never had before. Show them how to, be in STEM classes, how to be in engineering, how to be in all of these opportunities that you can influx in your community the same way you had the opportunity to play basketball. And you create basketball teams, a lot of guys do. You can create economic opportunities that never existed before, which now allows you to circumvent being poor and being black. Because like I said, it's not a poor, black issue, it's a poor issue specific to black people, what's going on in the judicial system and the police system today.
Well, very intriguing idea, Kenny. We wish you nothing but the best of success with it. Thanks for spending time with us. Always good to see you, Kenny.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. And, one of the things we're doing now with Coors Light is these refurbishment of the courts around the country. You can help there as well. And this is just great opportunities. I appreciate everything that you've done.
Kenny, thanks.